Okay, so today we're going to be going over how to set up a squat suit. In this first portion, we're going to be going over the Leviathan Ultra Pro from Inzer. This is their newest squat suit. Basically, what this squat suit is two pieces of canvas, and they're connected by sort of a corset type setup of strings in three sections along the side. The first thing that you want to do when you get one of these suits is trim the strings down because they are going to be excessively long. So put the suit on when you first get it at your house, snug it up a little bit, and trim the strings down. The last thing you want to deal with is being in the gym, excited to squat, work up to a weight you need to put your suit on for, and then have to deal with these strings that are 10 feet long and get all tangled up in them. So once you have that done, when you first put the suit on and you're getting ready to actually start using it, you want to make sure the straps are really tight, even if you don't wear tight straps when you're squatting. When you're setting up the strings, you want the straps to be really tight because it keeps the suit in place when you're setting up the strings. It's extremely important. So, the next thing is you want to do each section of the suit at the same level as you're going down. What I mean by that is you want to do the left top section and then the right top section. Then the left hip, right hip, left leg, right leg. The reason for this is if you do all of one side at once, you move those two pieces of canvas and you've got one side that's really tight and one side that's really stretched out. It's going to change how the suit reacts when you're in a squat, and you can get twisted up. It makes it very inconsistent and makes it incredibly hard to use. So you want to try and make these as even as possible. When you're setting these strings up, the first time you go through, you basically just snug the strings up to get the suit on. Let the person take a couple of squats, a few sets in the suit, and then you can tighten them and adjust them as you see fit. So for most people, the tightest part of the suit they're going to want in the hip section, so that middle section, because that's where you're going to get the most out of it. And then the top section, sort of the trunk, would just be snugged up. So that's a really nice part about these suits is you can get that top section snug to your body, whereas as with the old canvases, it either fit you or it didn't. And then with the legs, I've seen it go both ways. So I've seen people like it really tight, and some people like them really loose. That's personal preference. You're going to have to sort of mess around with that sort of thing and figure out which way you like it. Again, you want to make sure that these are going really evenly with the strings. And when you're pulling the strings to tighten it, you want to put your finger through where the two strings cross over each other, like you're tying a set of shoes. You want to pull both sides evenly when you're pulling them. This is just going to assure that it's even all the way through, and that you can get a consistent reaction from the suit when you're coming out of the bottom. That's the number one thing with these suits is they can change. Where it's a good thing if you lose weight, gain weight, you can change the suit and tailor it to your size. The negative thing is that if you're not super consistent with how you set up the strings, you're not going to have a consistent reaction from the suit while you're squatting. So make note of how you like things and be very particular when you're putting it on. As soon as you're done with the strings, you can pop off the straps and set them as you see fit. This is what it looks like from the side. See how the strings are tucked up into each other so that they kind of stay out of the way. Here's the top section for your trunk, middle section for hips, bottom section for legs.
Now here, I'm going to show you how to put on an old school, the original Leviathan, the white canvas. Keeping the suit slippers on, but pull them out from underneath the briefs and then put them back on over top of the briefs to help the suit slide on. And now, similar thing as the briefs. Put it on one leg at a time. Now, for me, I'm really particular, so when I put the straps over the bar to slide into the suit, I always try to wrap on the front straps, wrap the Velcro side against the bar. That way you don't scratch your material up and get it all stained and dirty, because I likes my shit looking fresh. So wrap it over the bar, and then just like lifting straps, you can hold them in place yourself, wiggle down into the suit. You have to do the front and the back kind of 1 inch at a time. Now, the exact opposite on the back straps is the front. I want to wrap the canvas side against the bar, because this is the hook side of the Velcro, and I've noticed with some of my suits in the past that if you wrap this side against the bar, it matches those hooks, and then the Velcro loses its stickiness. Alright. Now while he's holding the back, I'll grab a hold of the front straps and still pull up on them, and I'll wiggle down into it. And as I'm doing this, what I'm trying to do is flare my knees out, just as if I was squatting. And that way it helps pull the material up and get it seated in the crotch nice and tight. And then same kind of thing, just grab the crotch and pull up on it as you lunge from side to side. Feels like it's up all the way, so what I'll have him do is we put the straps up as if I was going to squat. Go ahead and crank them down really tight. All right. And then I'll just use the tightness of the strap to help lunge into the suit and pull it on those last couple inches. It feels like it's on all the way. So now he'll unstrap me, and I'll just find something to lean against and try to keep the blood circulation from getting cut off to my legs while I get ready for my squat attempts. All right, now, as if I was getting ready for a big squat, you already saw the knee wrap video, so he just finished wrapping my knees. Now I'm ready to squat. He helps me up. And with my straps, I want them to be tight in the back. I don't want them tight in the front, because then it feels like it hunkers me down and I can't get a big air and I can't get my arch. So this is kind of my one big secret that's not so secret on how to set my suit is I arch back as hard as I can and pull up on the straps. And then arching back into the suit with my head up, I pull the straps down, and then I hold them into place with my lats pulled back and upper back flexed. And then I hand him these straps. And what I'll do is, one last time, I'll get a big air into my belly just as I was going to squat, and I flex and flare my back just like I would under the bar. Now once that's set, I don't want to move. I want to keep my upper body big, almost like walking around with invisible lat syndrome. I want my lats flared out, my chest poked out, and he's going to put my belt around me. And the whole time I'm trying to keep my upper body big, my head up, keep that suit set exactly where it's at. And he knows we have a mark on my belt on which hole it goes into, so I don't have to talk and we don't have to think. He just lines up the mark. I lean back. He tells me when I'm there. Right there. Put it in the hole. And now I'm ready to squat. All right, now that we're done squatting, here is the biggest pain about these OG Leviathan suits is, unlike the Ultra Pro with those cool laces where you can just loosen everything up and slide it off, this takes usually 2 training partners. It's best if they're around the same body weight and strength levels. And pretty much, you just roll it down as far as you can on your own, which isn't very far as you can see. And then I'll find something to brace myself against. And I like to go side to side. So you get over here, you get over here. And then he'll grab the front strap, he'll grab the back strap. I'll lock this leg out and brace and pull against him while they push down. All right. And then you just have to take it 1 inch at a time, side by side. All right. It's a pretty tedious process, but after squatting a huge PR, it makes it worth it. But after bombing on squat, it's a really painful process. All right. Still got a couple more inches to go before the final reveal. All right. Okay, now we've got it down as far as it'll go, but it's still really tight, especially with me. My quads are pretty big in the middle and then they get smaller, so it gets caught right here and it's really hard to get off. So what we do is if you're at a meet, you can grab the bench bar or a deadlift bar if there's one laying around, or if you're in the gym, we'll grab either a pull down bar or we'll use a pin out of a power rack. And it's best to do this part yourself, but you find a little hole in the crotch and you just force it through there, just like that. Now that it's through, you get one training partner on the back, one training partner on the front, and for their sake, you don't want them to push down really hard. You just want them to apply even pressure while you push down on the outside of the legs. All right, it's about to pop off. There we go. I always like to warn them that it's about to come off because I have had training partners just pushing down as hard as they can, and then when it pops off, they hit the floor, and that's never fun for anybody. So you're finally out of the suit. You get the briefs off pretty easy by yourself. If you don't know how to do that, then ask somebody.